Welcome to D&D Journey of the 5th Edition. Join us in our campaign and shenanigans as we explore the subterranean labyrinths, plunder hordes of treasure, battle legendary monsters. This podcast will be following our gaming group and the adventures of these characters, as well as a few guests from time to time. Join us as we start a new campaign and our journey to experience the best, and maybe the worst, in the 5th edition of Dungeons & Dragons.
Here in the Forest of Elandril, we elves defend the woods from beasts and men. I myself have helped drive off goblin raiders, slain a giant spider, and composed an elven symphony for the Blood Moon Harvest Festival, and that was before lunch. So when I'm not sliding down the trunk of a barbarian elephant beast after killing it and its occupants with only my dagger and a few arrows, I look forward to coming home to a Dungeon Crate. Dungeon Crate is a monthly subscription box service crafted specifically for RPG and tabletop gamers. Miniatures, dice, tokens, coins, maps, modules, terrain pieces, handmade items, RPG jewelry, and more are yours for only a few gold per month. You even get a digital crate along with a physical one as an added bonus. As an elf, I appreciate quality craftsmanship, and Dungeon Crate delivers, even if it's put together by humans.
Sir, sentries have discovered several dwarves and a wizard trespassing in our woods.
I was wondering what that smell was. DungeonCrate.com. Are you ready? Let the adventure begin.
Welcome back to D&D Journey of the 5th Edition. The group is in Feathergale, Spire, and Confused. But
having dinner.
Well fed.
They all seem
Okay.
so nice. I'm still not getting evil vibes.
They're writing carrion eaters. I'm
Well,
just saying,
beggars can't be choosers.
I'm just saying, maybe we should ask who started them on the whole carrion thing.
You know,
I mean, hold on,
vultures
the
are
vulture
perfectly
thing.
delightful
It's not like
creatures
this
in their own
this
way.
fella's going to have a lot
That's
of
true.
hippogriffs, or griffins for that matter, thanks for the mana core.
Think about how difficult it is to replace...
I'm just
It
saying,
still doesn't
where are they
explain-
finding the food to feed it? I'm just saying.
And does not explain why that one person was there in the grave along the other Earth ones.
Right?
You shouldn't mention that.
Well,
No.
But it's like, so somebody, and the,
More
and
than
the Earth
somebody.
guy did say that they were part of this elemental evil.
I'm just
There
saying,
wasn't
maybe
a-
it's maybe not all of them are part of it. Maybe there is,
So let's go around the table real quick and introduce ourselves at the beginning rather than like halfway in.
Oh, sorry,
Yes.
we were involved.
It's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Jazz playing the clanless Kriv, Dragonborn Sorcerer.
Jocelyne playing Reona O'Tuck, monk and brewer.
Kerrie playing Tallyn of the Hidden Forest Tribe. I'm a half-elf ranger.
Kellie, I'm playing Sister Solace, the tiefling cleric of the god Pelor.
Okay. And pretty much just at that exact moment, your host is going to excuse himself really quick, and he's going to go over to the table and talk to some of the guys and pat them on the back. So you guys have pretty much free reign to talk amongst yourselves if you want, as well as...
Wasn't there also the two assistants?
Yes,
Several was there.
as well as the two knights that are at the table.
They left.
No, they're still sitting at the table with you guys. They're very curious about you guys. It's not
Well, they might be good to chit-chat with them a bit and see what they might tell us while, enjoying some
Other than the
vacation.
crazy weather, have you experienced any other difficulties?
No. Things have been good of late. It's just that the weather's making it very difficult for us to keep our mounts working, properly, because the hippogriffs require an exorbitant amount of grain, and we've just not been able to replace the hippogriffs we've been looking for. The traditional breeding grounds are not the same this year.
Oh, it's because of the weather then.
We believe so, yes. But the giant vultures are working in a pinch. It was an idea a few years ago that was, offered because, believe it or not, giant vultures are miraculously easy to breed and multiply. The trick is you have to make sure you hand rear them from a young age.
Who recommended them?
Carrion.
Well, thankfully, even with the ecosystems that is now, carrion is one of the few things that we can provide.
I
Well,
imagine
they're
there's
always
plenty to
the
feed on
gnolls.
in terms of the gnolls.
Yeah,
we
feed
put
the
each other
gnolls.
down every now and then.
Right.
They're sentient creatures.
And they try to kill us repeatedly.
Well, I didn't
What?
say not to kill them, but
What,
do
the
you
gnolls?
feed them to your pet?
They're dead
And,
already.
and pretty
Sister
much.
Solace, if we were to die out in the field, there would be a giant vulture feasting on our corpses. They wouldn't
Yeah.
care.
True, but it's other sentient creatures specifically feeding it to another.
Circle of life, man.
Wrong character.
As
There is
she-
a light in waste not want.
When Sister Solace says it, you see her kind of annoyingly throw her bone down from the food she's eating. It's like, if you wouldn't mind, gnolls are not sentient creatures. They are a blight on the land. The stories themselves say that their creator created them merely to kill and destroy humanity. They themselves are the embodiment of carrion.
Perhaps so. The philosophical discussions about blights on lands and what races their origin is, I'm pretty sure any given magic user who could enslave a bunch of people could also be regarded in such a way. But that's not the topic here. The topic here is I'm amazed you've kept these animals fed for so long, even given the current rough conditions. Do you get them shipped in from the north, or...?
Well, usually the vultures, we basically ride them, and they find dead carrion out there to feed, that we pack up and bring back to feed them.
Right, so it's easier to keep them alive. What of the hippogriff's food?
Usually that's sent in from Waterdeep. Thankfully, the port town still is doing well as a circle of commerce.
Now, you said that you had to raise these vultures from birth. Do you pick one that's going to be yours and then it bonds with the writer?
Yes, that's generally how it works.
Oh.
Almost everyone in the Feathergale Society have a huge love of flying as well as hawking.
Are the raised vultures generally friendly to other riders?
Usually they can be very particular, but as long as we wear similar uniforms, they think it might be close enough to a nestmate that it's acceptable to be close by.
Gotcha.
Right. And who came up with the brilliant idea of using these giant vultures? Because that is quite the change for you.
Yes, and she basically points over across the way to the table. That is Dorian over there. He is one of the ones that was the first ones to rear vultures instead of trying to keep our hippogriff population up. Because vultures multiply so much faster, which allowed more of us to have mounts to ride.
So far, since there's so many of the Feathergale residents in the mess hall, eating and stuff, is like, do we see anybody with a similar uniform or outfit as the corpse that we found buried alongside the earth ones?
Yes, about half the room.
Great.
So
And they're all. It's like
Those are all-
I'm gonna ask Sevra. So Sevra, it's like these differ slightly. The uniforms that these people wear differ slightly from your uniforms. Are there different orders within your order?
Well, technically, as you can tell from my armor, I have achieved the rank of Feathergale Knights.
And what is the other?
They are merely initiates into the knightly order. They've gone beyond being a page, and they are on their way to becoming knights.
So it was an initiate that we saw,
Yeah.
outfit that we saw in there, in the grave.
Yep.
Interesting.
Do initiates get to fly?
If they're lucky, yes.
Indeed.
Though some of us, and she basically points to one of the gentlemen that seems to be wearing this weird outfit. It's got little spiral patterns into it. And she says the gentleman over there, she basically waves her hands and says, Dolan. And he comes over and basically she shows you the outfit he's wearing, that these are specially made outfits to help protect the knights if they were to fall off a mount.
Really?
And basically he kind of stretches it and you see there's like a membrane, almost like a squirrel suit.
Sweet!
And you see some magical runes with some swirly things. It's like the suit is there so that way if he were to fall off a flying mount and unable to save himself, he would be able to at least glide to the ground safely.
This is truly inspired.
It is. And then as a quick count, what's the ratio of initiates to non-initiates right now?
Currently in the room, it's pretty much 50-50-ish.
You have plenty of new initiates.
Yes, where do you get all the new initiates?
Well, you would be surprised with the reputation of Waterdeep having with the Griffin Riders being is one of the prominent knightly orders that you could join. Everyone loves to fly, and pretty much all the members of us are, we are a group was originally based of the Feathergale Society of an elite group of aerial mount enthusiasts.
So you're all pretty much imported to this region? You're not local?
None of us are local to this area.
Ah, the entire tower here? There are no locals?
There are. Well, you've seen how desolate the countryside is here. Most folks that live here don't go within 5 miles of where they were born.
Reminder, the problems in Red Larch have only been, and this weather patterns have been only occurring for a few months
last few years.
and stuff like
Like
that.
last year or two.
Yeah.
Remind me again, because I apologize. The interrogations of the Cult of the Black Earth folks that we interrogated from Red Larch, who were corrupted by said mage
Right.
and stuff like that, or high priest. When did that happen? When were they corrupted?
Years ago.
Years ago.
Yeah.
So this has been building for years.
From what you got from the Black Earth, yes, that was years ago that they impregnated themselves into the community.
So I guess I'll start. I'm like, well, you mentioned earlier that the captain was tired of the corruption in the old Griffin Riders Order, which makes me curious. Why this region, and what do you guys do out here?
Well, pretty much the one reason why we wanted this place was this place makes a natural rookery. You know, because the tower, as you can see, whoever used this tower originally, it's exactly the same thing that they used it for. But one of the things that most of us really do enjoy is the actual Vale here. The wind currents here are amazing for flying.
Mm.
It is you could practically become one with the wind out there. Your mount will just glide for hours if you find the right wind draft.
Do you come along other travelers often in your flights?
Occasionally we see things around us, but usually we try not to interfere with anyone, except if we see people that are in need of help.
Because we had a friend dwarves that were set out towards Red Larch prior to our journey,
Yes.
and we still have not heard from them. I was wondering if you perhaps had seen them.
I can ask the other members of the order. We have a few scouts that are out right now.
Indeed. It
But-
could be
Well,
that
they would have
the
followed
messenger
us
they
with-
sent didn't find us. We took kind of a roundabout route.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have unfortunately lost a few of our members to the Manticore.
Well, that is unfortunate indeed.
Is that partly, I mean, I imagine, I don't use armor, but is that why you've taken up armor? It sounds like if you're a society that enjoys flying, and because the knights were, I'm sorry, I'm a homesteader, and the knights that used to come by our territory would occasionally help us with some dire needs, but is it just about the flying out here?
Well, for the most part it is. I mean, it's not like we actually have any communities out in this area.
Oh yeah, Red Larch is a little ways.
I mean,
And
usually...
then beyond Red Larch is where our friends were going, the Dwarven.
And the
Oh,
commander...
Train City, yes.
The commander usually has us avoid certain communities because we don't want to start a lot of panic, especially riding giant vultures into town.
Oh sure,
The first
but
few times people, tend to get the wrong idea, and just at that moment, that the commander sits back down with a huff. He goes, "Yes, giant vultures. They are the best mounts we've got that will help us do our duty for the realm.
What is your duty for the realm?
We are here to protect the interests of civilization and to bring people to the gift of getting to fly in the sky.
That is a very generous
And
duty.
to gladly welcome travelers to join us for supper."
You are so kind to have us here with you tonight in your beautiful tower. And I've heard tales from your men and women about the grand flying adventures you have and the perfection of this location. You are so fortunate that you found it, sir.
Yes, the greatest gift that we found from getting this place is this solitude.
You left Waterdeep to flee some sort of terrible corruption, I understand.
Yes, unfortunately they were imparting some new taxes on those who keep mounts in the city walls.
Oh,
And we unfortunately didn't want to deal with the same corruption of constantly having to pay extra to guarantee the safety of our mounts when we weren't there.
That's very strange. I understand that carts are pulled in larger cities by large creatures like that. It's curious that they would impose a tax on it.
Well, unfortunately, when you keep them more as a pleasure mount than as a work beast, sometimes they bring it down upon you that if you're not contributing,
Well, you'd think
in their opinion.
Well, you'd think if you were, wearing armor, helping people with the advancing their interests in the farms and the domains of the city, I would summarize, that they would instead endorse you.
You would think that for civilization, but my friend Dragonborn, have you been to Waterdeep?
I have not.
It is a den of villainy. I didn't say it. You all waited for
We're
it.
all thinking again.
I personally lost 2 of my hippogriffs to poison feed
Oh my god.
because of an altercation I had in the streets stopping a thief from taking advantage of a citizen.
That's terrible.
No one claimed ownership of the evil acts, but conveniently the feed was poisoned.
That is
Inconveniently for
truly
you.
horrible.
Yes.
Jeez.
I have heard of these sorts of people who organize and spread rumors and lies and then get cohorts to do their bidding for them. It's really unfortunate when it comes to such a deadly and underhanded method.
It's definitely true people should stand on their own feet and be known for their own actions rather than hiding behind others.
May good deeds shield you from darkness.
Indeed.
Well said, good cleric, well said. To good deeds! And of course everybody in the to good deeds!
Then here.
Okay?
My lord, do you think this terrible corruption you experienced in Waterdeep is endemic of the terrible corruption we're seeing of the lands these days?
I honestly would not know how far that this is spread across the land. But if you wish to know my opinion, and his just demeanor just glowers, great evil lurks among the hills of the land.
Do you have a sense of where it might be localized?
As he's trying to continue what he's saying, as you interrupt him.
Sorry. You
Depraved cultists are led by wretched monsters in this area.
What's here?
But we will speak of things dark and not good after we feast.
Indeed. To the feast!
To the
To
feast.
the feast!
To the light.
To the lights!
To the light! And may the light keep our hearts warm, our bellies full, and the lands prosperous.
Yes.
For what is good for one is good for all.
Slaughter!
Brother Varric always says that a full stomach helps stoke the inner flame.
Oh,
Okay.
indeed.
And you've been, doing your thing. So tell us of your travels. I mean, honestly, for travelers such as yourselves, you said you lost your wagons?
We lost 2 of our compatriots.
We had a small wagon. It was unfortunately the 2 compatriots we lost were trying to save it from the horde of gnolls when we approached the valley, and that was when perhaps it was the wrong decision, but I decided to leave the wagons, and unfortunately they could not join us. So they succumbed to the gnolls on our ways, and not speaking of such gloomy things at dinner, I will end it by saying that quite simply we've been under a cloud ever since.
And he gives you a strong, beefy hand slap in the back. I understand that. To those who cannot feast with us anymore, and everybody does a cheer and drinks, the loss of loved ones is always hard.
Indeed.
But remember, by living and feasting and enjoying life, you honor their memory.
Well said, well said.
Okay? So Grand Dwarf, where have you come from?
Oh, well, I'm a hill dwarf originally, your lordship, and as a monk, I decided to leave my people and to travel and see a bit more of the world so that I could understand better my place in this world as a dwarf and a monk, and to rather, take a new perspective on the teachings that I had learned as a wee young dwarf lass. It's been, a host of adventures hither and yon, and fortunately I was able to meet these fine people and to join them on their travels and to bring my brewing skills to bear, as it were.
Much needed.
I find that beer never goes amiss.
To beer!
Which is on.
So, Ranger, you look like you've been battle weary.
Yeah. My family, I've traveled very far and I encountered these people and I have come to accept them and they have accepted me, and so we travel on together.
He nods. To the family that you make in life.
Slasha!
Okay.
I'm a little taciturn, so sorry.
Okay. So, sister, I hear you're from Waterdeep as well?
Yes, I am from Waterdeep.
Tell us stories of what's happened in Waterdeep.
It has been some time since I have been there. I was a initiate under Brother Varek's tutelage at the Temple of Pelor. And as Brother Varek always says, that a good deed by example is louder than any word. And so, taking that inspiration, I have gone out into the world to spread the light of Pelor and show by good deed the light.
Okay, he nods at you and gives you a nice polite bow. Picks up his drink. To the sun that will always warm our cheeks and raise our crops. To the sun!
It drinks a lot.
Okay, and they're drinking, and all of a sudden, pretty much as everyone's getting the little dealio on, having good jokes coming out, all of a sudden the doors of the Great Hall fly open.
Manticore!
As a sentry shouts, "Manticore! It's on the move!"
Let's get it!
At this announcement,
Can
the
you
Feathergill
fly?
Knights rise
No.
as one before the feast is finished. And literally all of them just stand to their feet immediately. We should take this opportunity to slay the monster. From his finger he removes a feather-patterned golden ring set with a garnet and holds it in the air. A prize for the one who brings me the beast's head. And he puts the ring on the table.
Could we get a ride? We would gladly help.
And basically he is saying that you can ride with one of the knights, or you guys can stay here if you feel too tired.
The meal has perked me up some, and I would not want to be separated from my group.
After your kind hospitality, I feel that it is really the least we could do to help you catch this manticore.
Very well.
We could just go outside too on the other side of the bridge and just see if
I-
it'll attack us.
I don't think it's that close.
No, it's not that close. Basically, it's the scouts have returned with sign of the
Yeah.
manticore.
I would need a longbow. Mine was broken by the gnolls.
Gladly, we can gladly provide you one, and they stick a longbow in your hand. And of course, the knight that gives you the longbow says, "You are riding with me."
Done.
He's like, "A longbow archer in the back of my vulture with me? I can definitely use this."
Oh,
Okay.
you think it's a good deal until she shoots you on the back of the head.
This is true, but we're not telling him that.
No.
We're
Shoot away.
just going to keep that
Shoot
between
away.
friends.
Okay.
Shoot away.
So, when you guys get to where the mounts are, there are 4 knights on their vultures ready to take you guys on their backs. The others have already taken off. They're waiting to politely help get you on the vultures.
Great.
Okay.
Sweet. They're
So-
sharing the gift of flight.
That is very kind.
Okay, so as they get in the vultures, you notice that the fog has creeped into the valley.
There's something nefarious about this manticore. Maybe it's
And
not
this
a
fog.
manticore.
Okay, so as you guys all get on the vultures' backs, they all take flight. and then they all flock together as a group, but they space out V style. Everyone roll me a d20 for perception. You are the spotters while they're flying.
Yeah,
I got so
perception. I get
17.
Oh, wow. 15.
17.
Oh, sweet. I got 22.
A 22?
For once, I'm perceptive.
Okay. At one moment, the ranger's eyes, she sees a shadow. All of a sudden, a dark shadow that you point to, and all of the riders, start whooping and howling as they descend on the shadow. Okay?
Flashes of Avatar with that big flying thing.
Oh, yes.
Last shadow.
As you guys hear a roar diving on the canyon area, where there's these spires of stone sticking up, and the shadows darting between those spires. It looks like if it was the manticore, it looks like it has something in its mouth.
Uh-oh. Maybe.
Well, it's feeding.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully not.
Is it one of their...
Let's hope it's a knoll.
Yeah, really.
As all of a sudden you hear shouts of the riders calling out to the other riders, and you see, you hear the shriek of vultures, from in the distance as the group's closing in the circle. Okay, so as you guys are there, go ahead and give me, let's have you each roll for your rider. Roll me a d20.
My poor rider. I've been
poor
such
rider.
a sucky rider.
I rolled a
I
17.
got a 14.
5.
What am I rolling
What are we
for?
rolling?
Just roll
Just
a d20.
10.
10? Okay, so O'Tuck, your rider gets within 60 feet of the manticore. You barely catch a glimpse of it. And you see that it's got some furry thing in its mouth. It might be a knoll, it might be a small furry mammal of some kind. You can't really tell. But it turns back and looks at you with bloodshot eyes as it's flicking its tail in your direction.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
That's a manticoran, flipping the bird.
Oh, no.
Except, of course, this one kills.
As all of a sudden you hear your vulture send out a shout as one of the quills go flying off the tail and hit it. But it keeps flying, and you see the rider, he leans back to you and says, hold on tight. You're good. You're good, Blackwing. Keep flying. He's spurring his vulture on and just keeping on to the hunt because you're within, dead shot of it. You're close behind, and you see her vulture just convulse as the quill hits it. Seems to be injured. Are you going to do anything? You heal the vulture?
Except for cure wounds requires touch.
Oh, yeah. Okay, maybe not. Don't you have don't you have a ranged one?
Yeah, I do.
You're not using that?
Prayer of healing
Okay.
on a...
Okay.
She's saving it.
She's saving it?
Obviously.
Okay.
I can't just fly off with that for just... usually I only do that if there's more than one creature hurt.
Okay, so after a few more minutes of you guys circling around and hovering over it, go ahead and roll me a d20 for your riders to make sure nobody does anything really bad.
I got a 3.
12.
19.
Sorry, what'd you get?
19.
19.
12.
12.
11.
11.
3.
Your rider unfortunately zigged when he should have zagged, and the vulture clung to one of the rock spires that just popped up out of nowhere in the darkness. Apparently it was paying attention to the manticore, not seeing the pillars pass over, and it just and it's grabbing onto the pillar, flapping its wings with you in its back. The rider grabs you by the side, and give me a athletics check. You do have advantage because the rider's holding on to you. Especially since you realize,
I get a +2 for athletics.
You don't have a squirrel suit on.
I got a 13!
You managed to stay clinging on to the... Just barely, but he's basically got
The
you.
light of Pelor was with me.
Don't they have, lashes
Harness,
to
yeah.
tie yourself to these things?
Kind of, but
It's not really built for 2 people.
Yeah, and not really meant for when the...
I'm sure they should have seatbelts.
They don't seem like the seatbelts kind.
No, they're the squirrel suit kind.
Hence for the squirrel suits.
Nice.
And some of them have the ability to cast Featherfall.
Well, that's
Cool.
handy.
Unless you're the one falling and they can't reach you with range attack.
Oh,
Featherfall. Oh, sorry.
This is
dear.
difficult. Is my rider an archer?
Your rider he does have a spear that he can throw. But he's having difficulty for some reason getting close. It's probably because he's intimidated with your dragon breath behind him.
Well, if we can get close enough for you to throw the spear, we can mark it. It's
So I
certainly
can
light
use
up your
Hunter's
spear,
Mark.
but I don't want to do it
I can
Okay.
use Hunter's
right
Mark.
away.
Does that, is that, it doesn't say it's visible to anybody.
It doesn't
though.
visibly do anything. No,
So,
it's not like fairy
It's
fire.
not like World of Warcraft where I can see.
Right.
Yeah, it wouldn't
I've marked you.
peg him so you can see him from a distance.
So,
Okay. So, O'Tuck, do you have any range attacks you could do?
Oh, no, not particularly.
Okay.
I mean, I could jump off the vulture and land on the manticore's back and go to town with my ladle.
Okay. He does offer that, O'Tuck, right there in the bottom of the saddle is my spear if you would like to try throwing it.
Right, well, I'll give it a try.
Okay.
Well, what is my stat that I combine with my roll?
it's
Strength.
strength plus proficiency. Oh, no, wait, you're not
Dex.
proficient with it.
Dex.
Oh, dex, right.
Right.
Yeah.
Well then.
Well, in theory, she does have proficiency with spear.
I do.
Yeah.
Really?
You as a monk, you've been trained in it.
Have I?
Yeah.
Well, my dex is 2. I rolled a
I think. I'm
6.
pretty sure you do.
So she got
Yeah.
a grand total of 8.
Basically, you throw the spear, it goes flying through the air and just smashes into a rock pillar.
Right. It doesn't draw its attention to the spear.
It draws its attention to where the spear originated from.
Oh dear.
Yeah,
It's that smart.
it's that. Well, it is an intelligent creature.
So if I jump on its back, it's probably like a suicide maneuver.
Yeah, at
you,
this point.
you think that would be fucking badass to do, but would be fucking bad idea to do? You can try it, but
As a group, do we have a shared non-common language?
No. I speak lots of languages, but Common, Elvish, Goblin, Orcish, and I also speak some Primordial.
I speak, infernal and
okay. So on the Manticore's turn, it's gonna dart.
Oh dear.
You're a vulture again.
Yeah.
All right.
I speak celestial, infernal, and draconic.
Okay, and it flicks that tail, and another dart. You see, like a freaking throwing dagger goes zipping out and hits your vulture, and your
Right.
vulture gasps again.
We don't get to dodge.
You don't get to dodge. The vulture has an AC. He's rolling really well.
Oh dear. Well, Blackwing, hang on there. Is there anything we can do for the vulture?
Well, you could always hang back, land, and do some medical on the vulture, but
I'll ask my rider. Do you feel all right about being bait?
not sure I catch your meaning there, Dragonborn.
Well, if we harm it sufficiently, it might try to take us out of the sky, and that way we can get the others to swarm around it while it's focused on us.
Can I shoot it with an arrow?
Well, that's wrong. When you've been rolling your pilot's not been doing a good job of getting you guys in position.
My pilot is as close, but I can't do a bloody thing.
Okay, let's go ahead and give it a try. And he's like, let's go ahead and try something. Okay, and he pats his vulture. Okay, red scar, like we practice. And he
Only within 100 feet. I'll handle the rest.
okay, he kind of reaches to the vulture's side and kind of squeezes the vulture's wing, and the vulture fakes a lame wing for a second and starts
Oh, how tempting.
swirling. But the pilot's going to have disadvantage for his next roll to not splat. So let's see if the manticore falls for it. Ooh, that's a good roll for deception. Okay. So your vulture is swooping down, wounded looking, even though your vulture's been at the distance the whole time.
So this is going to be problematic.
Okay. Okay, so everybody give me a pilot check.
My pilot only got a 5. 13.
Oh wait, you want 2?
I rolled
Uh-oh.
a 7 this time.
You rolled a 7.
We all
Okay.
suck.
So, O'Tuck, your vulture's wounded and it's falling back, letting the manticore get some distance. Tallyn, your pilot, he's not faking that falling out of the sky now. All of us.
Are you talking to Tallyn or Kriv?
Sorry, Kriv. Kriv. Yeah, with that 2 he rolled the pilot, he is not faking the swooping down to crash. Tallyn, what did you get?
5.
5. You're falling back. And Sister Solace?
13.
13. You're getting close. You were within 100 feet of the manticore. But the manticore definitely seems to be turning around and looking at the struggling vulture.
You mean
Yes.
that one?
Kriv.
Okay.
Yes.
Kriv. Okay.
I'll ask the rider, how long to impact?
And you just see him kind of sweating right now, debating bailing out of the saddle or not.
Well, isn't it 32 feet per second?
I can give the vulture a bit of height. It'll injure us, but, well, mostly you and the vulture. But if he needs a second chance, I can fluff him back up in the air.
Okay, so at that very moment, your rider's starting to mumble something. Okay, so, Sister Solace, you can do something with the manticore. You're within 100 feet.
Sacred flame.
You're going to sacred flame the manticore?
Yeah.
Okay.
Burn, baby, burn.
What's the
Dex,
DC?
13. Well, wait.
I rolled a 15, so.
Doesn't matter.
Your sacred flame poofs out in the area and just goes down.
As per freaking usual.
It's a cantrip. It's a freebie spell. Okay? And
It's my only ranged one.
the manticore is actually turning to fly into your direction.
So he's coming towards us.
Yep.
Alright.
So, everybody,
I was
what did you roll?
Initially a 5. You said
For
I
the
just fell
pilot.
back.
For the piloting roll.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're with
5.
5. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, but if
Okay.
it was within 100 feet, she could still fire.
Well, no, it's basically as you're flying and dipping. If you don't have a 15, you're not keeping within distance.
Okay.
I
Because
see.
it's moving and you're moving. Okay, so everybody give me a pilot check except for Kriv, because his rider is casting Featherfall on his mount right now. You try to
You
survive.
said we needed a 15?
Uh-huh.
Wah!
15.
15!
Me too.
I rolled
Okay.
a 12.
Oh.
Okay, so
cold. I know.
O'Tuck, your wounded vulture's falling back. Krivs is basically slowing down as the rider casts Featherfall and slaps it on the mount. Okay.
Oh, well, that's better than what I was going to do.
Yep. As you're noticing, the knight just cast magic in his armor.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. So, Tallyn, you can take a shot.
I can take a shot.
You can take a shot.
Let's just hope I roll.
Are you wanting to do your hunter's mark first?
I am. Hunter's mark that son of a bitch.
Okay, then hunter's mark.
16. Oh, because my attack bonus is 7. We're looking at 22.
That will hit. That'll hit. Roll for damage.
Wait, no, 23. Excuse me. Woohoo!
We'll roll for damage.
I'm working on it. I'm trying to find my 8. Ugh.
And does hunter's mark give you additional damage?
Yes, it does.
You want
Oh,
to roll that
yes!
too.
I forgot about that. Because so far, we're not doing too well. 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage. Okay, you fire an arrow and you just hear a roar and a thud as whatever it was carrying in its mouth just got let go.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Okay. So, Sister Solace.
Sacred flame.
Okay. 14. And it's a dex,
Yes.
so 17. Okay, so Kriv, your mount is slowing down before it hits the ground.
Is the manticore within 120 feet?
It is about the 100-foot range. It's turning around and bearing right towards you guys.
Great. All right. Well, let's add some aversion here. I'm going to quicken scorching ray.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, I am not intending on getting eaten.
Okay.
Damn.
Minimum 17.
That'll hit.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oops. Well, that'll miss. That'll probably miss.
That will
10.
definitely miss. Yeah.
And 20,
That'll hit.
21. So 4. So I'm gonna need this times 4.
I forget.
12.
Can I use my chit to have some of their roll?
Yeah.
At a deficit?
No. It's advantage for you in your side. You can't.
I can't give disadvantage to them.
You can't Star Wars style disadvantage somebody.
Damn.
23, 31, 35. One more.
Jesus Christ! How much damage for one roll?
Damn.
He's a mage. He's a glass cannon.
Or no, I'm
There's
sorry.
only one of the 3 hit.
No, that was on the
hit.
second one.
Oh, okay.
I have 4 hits.
Oh shit!
But let me double check that. I might have the wrong number of d6 because I'm just like, oh, whoops, that might not quite be right. I'll re-roll it if I have the wrong number. It's not a big deal. just 2d6 per.
Per bowl.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, so. 5, 8, 15, 22, and 28
Sweet.
points of fire damage.
Okay, as you guys see firebolts just lance out and smack the thing right in the face as it's coming towards you guys. It does not like this, by the way. This is not a thing it likes.
No, good.
As it's going to be leaving on its turn if it can. Okay, so top of the order. We've got Kriv and company on the ground. We've got O'Tuck's mount falling back, but that's okay because now it's coming towards you guys.
Great.
It's passing underneath you, the two of you, Tallyn and Sister Solace. Okay, so that's a good place to wrap it up there.
Alright.
Like I said, cliffhanger.
Yep.
Cliffhanger. Woo! Alright, I rolled down my advantage. So you
Okay.
can shit back.
Because shit happens.
Shit happens.
Every day, dungeons are forced to euthanize adventurers because the cost to provide urgent or ongoing clerical health care is too high. A stray adventurer may be brought in with a broken leg, or a halfling is surrendered because it swallowed something and requires surgery that the family cannot afford. Your donation of just a few copper pieces a day can make a difference in our podcast's life and keep us making content for you. Please, check out our Patreon site at patreon.com/cppn to help us, even if it's just $1 a month. Every copper helps. Your support for the CPPN is greatly appreciated.
Thank you for listening to D&D Journey of the 5th Edition, a member of the Creative Play and Podcast Network. And remember, be careful out there. There be dragons about.
When did you get this one? That is Tilda.
That is Tilda. You like that one?
Yes.
I just recently got that one.
This is a perfect miniature for her.
Let me see it.
Aww.
Ever since now we don't have Tilda though.
Tilda's still here. She is, but we're not playing her.
She'll come back.
Yes, we have to bring her back.
She's a great character.